Hi, guys. I finally decided to make this a bit more professional. Over the past year, you might know I've been posting at random some thoughts and news on LinkedIn, but I thought let's take this up a notch with a homegrown weekly podcast. So, with that, welcome to the Easy VC Brief, your weekly espresso shot of venture capital news, the stuff that actually matters, minus the 40-page PDFs. I'm Max von Polnitz, managing director at Ajinomoto Group Ventures, where we run a $100 million fund focused on food tech, climate tech, and advanced materials. Basically, if it feeds you, saves the planet, or gets built from atoms, I probably think about it more than I should. Every Thursday, I'm going to break down 3 VC stories you can actually use. No jargon, no fluff. This is episode number 1. So let's get cooking. First up, and yes, this is the humble brag portion of the show. We just invested in Athian, a carbon inset platform helping farmers turn sustainability into an actual paycheck. Quick explainer in real life terms. There are carbon offsets and carbon insets. You might have heard about offsets, for example, when the airline asks you to offset your carbon for a trip you've just booked. Yeah, I don't pay those either. But insets are if the airlines actually made the plane more efficient so they cover the impact themselves. Athian built a marketplace where beef and dairy producers can adopt verified sustainability practices and then sell those verified carbon credits right back into the supply chain. It's like Etsy, but instead of handmade candles, farmers are selling scientifically validated climate impact. And the timing? It's pretty awesome. Athian just raised a $4 million Series A and has already paid out $18 million to farmers since 2024. But here's the kicker. Only 3% of farmers currently participate in carbon markets. So why do we love this at Ajinomoto? We're big in livestock nutrition, amino acids, feed ingredients. So helping farmers boost sustainability and revenue is right in our strike zone. Plus, Scope 3 emissions are the broccoli of corporate climate goals. Nobody wants them, everyone has to deal with them. Athian is climate tech that actually works. Now, as someone who splits time between Silicon Valley and Europe, particularly Germany, let's hop across the Atlantic for segment number 2. First stop, Cambridge, UK, home of punting on the river, very old libraries, and apparently one of the biggest AI raises in Europe this year. Meet Cusp AI, which just pulled in $100 million for what they call a search engine for materials. Now imagine discovering an entirely new material, historically a 10 to 15 year journey, like trying to get customer service to answer your call. That being said, Cusp AI shrinks that to months. How? Generative AI plus physical simulations. And their first key partnerships include Hyundai, Chimera, and Meta in carbon capture. They also have NVIDIA, Samsung Ventures, and Temasek on board as some real heavy hitter investors. The trend here, AI that compresses R&D timelines in areas where fast used to mean we'll check back in 2038. For anyone who works in product, pharma, semiconductor, or honestly just wants their smartphone battery to work better, this is the kind of innovation that eventually shows up in your life. Next stop, Sweden, home of IKEA, and now one of the most dramatic founder comeback stories in deep tech. Eris Machina just raised a $10.7 million pre-seed fund led by Earlybird and Village Global. We at Ajinomoto, we follow the battery space, so are quite familiar with the founders. The founders, Peter Carlson and Siddharth Kular, both from Northvolt, the European battery giant that filed for bankruptcy with a casual $5.8 billion in debt. Yeah, that's not a typo. These two, they built a new company targeting the hardest problem in modern manufacturing. We have all the data, we just don't use it. Modern factories generate millions of data points per minute and use just 44% of it, so according to their data. Aris Machina is building an intelligence layer for factories connecting machines, systems, and data so AI can reason across the entire production line like a manufacturing grandmaster. They're going after batteries, semiconductor, biopharma, industries where one small failure costs millions and one fix can change global supply chains. So, in closing, that's your first easy VC brief. Let's summarize the three stories: a climate tech win for farmers, an AI engine speeding up material discovery, and a manufacturing OS for battle tested founders. The through line: investors are pouring capital into real solutions, not hype. Founders who solve gnarly, unsexy problems are the ones raising meaningful rounds. I'll be back next Thursday with three more stories shaping the venture world. If you've got feedback or want me to cover your corner of the market, send it my way. Until next week, keep building. Thanks.